Hey, what's going on there, folks? Good Monday morning, February 26, 2018, 6:12 a.m. here. And I figured I'd do a quick update video since I missed out on one last night. Just wasn't feeling too good. Had something going on. Anyway, earthquake activity continues to ramp up over in the east or the western Pacific. This time a little bit closer near the Indonesia region there with the most recent 6.1 earthquake. You can see right there on the globe. This 6.1 striking here just a little bit ago. This is also along with all the activity near the Papua New Guinea area with continued moderate earthquakes following that 7.5 earthquake they had there yesterday in that region. Also another 5.0 just north of the Indonesia region there. You can see it on the globe. Just a continued sign of increased earthquake activity over there on that part of the Pacific Plate region. Also, a 4.0 being the most recent earthquake up there near Fiji, near the Alaska Gulf of Alaska region up there. Other than that, California looking pretty quiet, calming down just a tad bit. A little bit of activity overnight in the southern Mexico region, and that was about it for far as the eastern Pacific goes. Take a look at the difference that we're having compared to, say, a couple days ago. This area right here was fairly quiet. We're seeing most of the earthquake activity, even as moderate and minor as it was mostly confined over here to the eastern part of this Pacific Plate, even including California and down through Mexico region. But now it looks like we're seeing the activity switch over again. Back and forth, kind of like a teeter-totter thing there with these earthquakes, although these the ones that happen over here are a lot bigger than what's occurring when we see the activity along the eastern Pacific there near California. But we'll keep an eye on this area because we're seeing increased activity. Definitely looks as though we could see some possibly a bigger earthquake with all that activity that's occurring. Definitely want to be on guard in that region there. You can see the most recent 6.1 showing up on the map. Indonesia, this here, just like I say, just about, looking at the scale here, a little bit over 500 miles, maybe about 750 miles west of the Papua New Guinea region, where a tremendous amount of aftershocks have occurred. You know, this is just one day magnitude 2.5 and above. Definitely a lot of activity in that region there. Kind of off of the fault system as well. You got the faults over here, kind of like that tri fault area looks like. I did post some information there in the scrolling text effect in regards to the activity there yesterday following that 7.5. But we'll keep an eye on it. Indonesia, oh man, these guys are just can never get a break down there in that region. 11.9 kilometers on that 6.1. But anyway, folks, like I say, I'll be off here for a little bit. Cover Yellowstone here real quick. Big, huge difference in earthquake activity compared to what we've seen yesterday. Just a dramatic drop off, and we've seen this a couple days ago as well. And then we've seen it ramp back up, but it's quiet, pretty gosh darn quiet over the past several hours. There you can see just a couple sporadic earthquakes in that area. I want to make sure I was still showing you guys the right map. So yeah, we'll see what she does. I mean, this is kind of typical of an earthquake swarm there at Yellowstone National Park when you have the plate tectonic stresses on this area. You know, I think it's got a lot to do with the Pacific Plate. In a way, I won't go into it too much this morning, but whenever we see the let up, so to speak, that I was mentioning here a little bit ago, how I was saying about the activity now has switched over to the Western Pacific here. You know, as far as like the pressure transfer and whatnot, it's mostly confined over there. Possibly with the release of pressure, not release, but let up of pressure. You know, no more build up, just kind of like staying steady. That's where we see Yellowstone kind of drop off in a way. It's only when we see, not only, but it seems typical that when we see increased pressure over here along the west coast, and along the eastern Pacific, that's when we see tectonic stresses being built up in the Yellowstone area with these earthquake swarms. But for now, it looks like it's calming down just a tad bit. Once again, interference over here on the eastern side of the park. No magma injection. No, no, nothing like that. Please don't believe that stuff. Some wind down here on the southern section of the northern, or the southern part of Yellowstone National Park. Some wind being reported, obviously being picked up there by the seismographs. This up here is not any kind of a harmonic tremor or anything like that. This is from that 7 point, wait, let's see here. That's not from the 7.5, I believe. Let me see here, 10:30. It may be. A good possibility that's from that 7.5. But anyway, whenever we see larger earthquakes, you know, say over 7 or so, these sensitive equipment does tend to pick up the P wave, so to speak, and that's what you're seeing right here throughout the park on at least the southern section there. Probably a little bit more sensitive equipment compared to the rest of these stations up here. Let me see if it picked it up here. I'm not seeing on that one. But anyway, like I say, activity dying down just a tad bit over in the park, and that's a good thing. California, I was looking at a map a little bit earlier, and there's a couple small minor earthquakes in that region there on the northern Calaveras Fault section, but looks like that may be calming down as well, along with the majority of the eastern Pacific Ring of Fire right there. So have a good day, folks. I'm going to try and keep Yellowstone webcam up on the graph here. Pinning it does not freeze up. Once again, it seems to freeze up on occasion there, especially right around nightfall. Not for sure why, but if it does it again, I'll have to remove it and swap it out with the data again. So have a good day, folks. We'll catch you all later.